Yo, what's good? I gotta explain something to y'all right about now. The trucking industry is getting out of hand. And it's a couple of reasons the trucking industry is getting out of hand, right? I'm just gonna wing this video while I tell y'all why the trucking industry is getting out of hand. The first reason is because everybody, the people who've been here doing this for quite some time, myself, a lot of these older truckers out here, they know the exact rates. They know how much money you can make, right? So let's rewind for a little bit. I remember about 8 years ago when I was getting my CDLs, the magical number was 50,000. Everybody wanted to make $50,000, right? That was the magical number. So we get out there in the jungle, the concrete jungle is what I like to call it. And we quickly realized 50K ain't nothing, right? Another instance. Well, not an instance, but another thing that I see was messing the game up. Everybody think you're gonna be a millionaire driving trucks. You are not gonna be a millionaire driving trucks. Do not listen to that person that's saying he bring home $10,000 every week. He makes $40,000 every week. Do not listen to those guys. Do you know what it takes to make $10,000 just running the load board? And people are going to tell you, hey, that's where I get shippers, blah, blah, blah. You just don't jump out the gate and get shippers to work with you. That does not happen. And even with that, what you guys got to understand, the shipper is saying, hey, deliver this stuff for this amount of money, right? You will have a broker who will come in and say, hey, look, I can save you money on this stuff, right? Whatever you're trying to ship out, I can save you money and I can handle all the dirty work for you. So all you have to do is worry about getting the product, right? So if you are a shipper and you are paying $5,000 to get this product from point A to point B, a broker comes in and say, hey, look, I can save you $1,000. And let's say you're doing this 3 times a week. That's $3,000 you can save, right? So what that broker is going to do, he is going to tell that shipper, let me get that, right? And then on top of that, he's going to take $1,000 off. So now that load that used to pay $5,000 is only paying $3,000. And then on top of that, you may have to pay him the 10%, or you got to pay whoever you're leased up under your 10%, or whatever the case may be. So simple mathematics, I don't know what 10% of 3,000 is. 10% over 1,000 that's $300. So now you're getting that load for $2,700, right? That's not 10 grand. And a lot of you guys seem to think that this industry is just booming with money, blah, blah, blah. I thought the same thing. You know, I left the game and then I came back. All my friends were telling me, I make $10,000 a week, blah, blah. No, you don't. Do not listen to anybody who's telling you that they make all this money a week. On average, listen to me, this is on average. This isn't if a person got some military loads. This isn't if all his loads are coming directly for a receiver. This is for the guy who has his truck, his trailer, and he's running the load board, and or he is leased up underneath somebody. The only thing you are going to make is between $3,000 to $5,000 a week. Now, Jesus Christ, with that $3,000 to $5,000 a week, right? And that's with all the expenses taken out. That's your fuel, that's your trailer, that's your maintenance, all that type of stuff. Yeah, you may gross $7,000 to $10,000, but once you take out everything and you do it the right way, all you're gonna bring home is between $3,000 to $5,000, and that's if you make. I'm not even gonna say 10. I'm gonna say between 6,000 and 9,000. If you bring home between 6,000 and 9,000, or if you gross between 6,000 and 9,000, you are gonna bring home 3,000 to 5,000, right? Let's not forget your taxes. That is what, 20% you got to take out, and then God forbid you get a flat tire before your maintenance fund can get up to date. God forbid your fuel rail go out. God forbid your kingpin fucking jams up. God forbid all that. I'm telling you, everybody wants to be a trucker because why? Unpopular opinion. I'ma just say it. They think it's easy. when you see a lot of people flocking to the same thing, they think it is easy. And when people flock to it'll be okay if we just had workers. But one thing that kills me about the trucking industry is everybody thinks that they are a boss. Everybody wants to be a boss. Anybody out here who has a couple trucks, do you notice how hard it is now, for whatever reason, to find drivers? Because everybody gets on YouTube. I'm just gonna say it. These funky ass people get on YouTube and say, I'm a boss. I made $10,000 this week. I did this. I did that. I'm sitting home. The thing about that, stop telling everybody what you make. I don't know why people do this crap. They get on YouTube and it's like they just gotta tell you what I make. They just have to tell you how good they're doing. I don't know what it is in America, but everybody has to flex. Thank you, God, for giving me this big house, this big car, this money in the bank. Why is that everybody's business? Excuse me? That is not everybody's business. Stop freaking flexing. When you flex, you're telling everybody that I have money. That is the reason the trucking industry is going to shit. Everybody thinks they are a boss. I had 2 trucks once upon a time, and I thought about putting somebody in it. No, because what that person is going to do, he is not loyal. If you have good rates, or if you have a load, he's going to try to undercut you and get those loads, right? And a lot of times what people don't understand is you have a lot of these people out here working for $1 a mile, $1.50 a mile. I mean, very rarely will I move my truck for $2 a mile. That is very rare. I mean, my bottom dollar is honestly $2.75, but I've never really go underneath $3 a mile, right? And for me to move my truck from $2.75, I have to be like, the desperation in my voice for me to move my truck for $2.75 has to be there. Otherwise than that, I'm not moving. Let's just call a spade a spade. $3 a mile, that's my bare minimum. Do not listen to these guys that's saying that they get all these loads for $7, $8 a mile. That does not happen. It happens, but that is not something you regularly look for unless you have a direct shipper or you just got lucky. Because let me tell you something. If somebody has a load on the load board for $6, $7 a mile, I can almost guarantee you a couple of these people will come out here and they will undercut you. And by the time that load is dished out, it's $3, maybe. And I'm gonna just say it's $3 a mile by the time people get done undercutting it. And what they go do? Hey, I got this load and it paid $2,000. But motherfucker, the load paid probably $5,000 before all you idiots came in the game. And it's like, when I came in the game of trucking, I did trucking because it was something different. It was frowned upon. Not a lot of people did it. You know, I didn't have too many options. I was just sick of school. But now you have people that have them that has the brains to go and make straight A's and be a doctor and a lawyer. But because they are lazy and trucking seems to be easy, they want to come over here. Instead of them doing what they need to do, they want to come over here. And I'm just going to tell you, I am sick of it. If you ain't been driving trucks in the last 3 years and all of a sudden you just want to come here and be a boss, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Like, we don't need that. Because the thing about it, you're going to come over here, you're going to try to pay somebody 55 cents a mile who got 7 years, 8 years, 9 years of experience. That don't work. Like, nobody can come to me and say, hey, look, I'm going to pay you 55 cents a mile. Then, one thing I don't know how I feel about this scenario. Trucking is changing. A lot of people are not gonna do the 3 weeks out. Me, I've been out for the last 6 weeks. I don't give a damn. But I notice a lot of people don't want to do the 3 weeks out, and a lot of companies want you to stay out 3 weeks. But what these companies need to do, if you're in Ohio, Chicago, hire from over there, right? Hire from. If I got a trucking company, I'm not really hiring from Florida. I'm not really hiring from California. Because when those guys want to come home, do you know how much money? I really can't speak for California. I'm going to speak for Florida. Instance with Florida. This is what happened to me. I wanted to come home, right? So I come home onto Florida on a Friday and I leave out on a Monday, right? My first load was going to Tampa. There was nothing going out of Florida. For whatever reason, this specific time, nothing coming out of Florida. So my first load going from Miami to Tampa. My next load from that is going from Tampa to just south of Jacksonville. Now, Monday, Tuesday. And these loads are only paying $1 a mile, $1.50 a mile. That's just Florida. I don't know too many people have a direct relationship with shippers coming out of Florida. So, Miami to Tampa, that's Monday, Tuesday. Tampa to just south of Jacksonville, that's Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Now I get out of Florida. Now I start to make the money. But those first 2 days, you're not making no money. So when a lot of guys say, hey, look, I want to come home. Well, if you come home, you're not going to make money. I'm not going to make money. So that's why I tell people, I'm going to pay you. This is what companies need to do. Pay drivers a percentage and tell those drivers, you pick your own load. When you do that, that'll cut out so much of the misinformation. That will cut out so much. Now people will understand. I can take my ass home. But if I take my ass home and I run this truck such and such amount of miles from Florida to Jacksonville, from Miami to Jacksonville, for those first 3 days, I've only made $200. And let's see, would they be in a rush to always come back home then? It's just the game. The game is filled with snakes. The game is filled with people who think they're bosses. I understand the mentality. But one thing you guys got to understand, everybody cannot be a boss. If everybody was a boss, we would not get anything done. And that is the issue that I'm having. Nobody wants to work for nobody. Me, I'm a one-man show. I don't want to work with nobody else. But I understand with these mega carriers, not even the mega carriers, I don't have any sympathy for them because they try to pay you like 35 cents a mile. But a lot of these decent companies, I worked for a company, MGL, they was decent. I worked for Space Express, they were decent. I worked for Detmar, they were decent. But after a while, they always say the same thing. I can't keep drivers. It's nothing you doing. It's just a mentality. The worst thing Trump and Biden ever did was gave people who never had money $1,500. A lot of that money, that was the most money a lot of these people seen in their life. And with that being said, they got the mentality of, why should I work for anybody? Like, I had to work for a person. I'm 32 now. I've been working legally since 18. So from 18 all the way to 30 is when I was working for somebody. And when you work for somebody, whether it's good or bad, what that builds is character. And I notice a lot of these fly-by-night trucking companies, they don't have any character whatsoever. And you may ask me, well, what is character? Character is being able to know how to talk to people. Character is being able to, and now as from the standpoint of the worker, character is being able to say to yourself, I don't want to do this, but I got to do it. That's what character is all about. And a lot of y'all guys out here don't got character on each end of the pole, each end of the fence, from the companies to the drivers, or the companies to the workers, or the workers to the bosses. There's no goddamn character. So I'm telling y'all the truth about the trucking industry. You're not gonna make $10,000 every week. Hell, I know a lot of people that don't bring that home. It's like when they get $10,000 gross, that's like maybe a once every 6 month thing. I got the ability to do it, but look here. I have ran the mountains. I have ran the snow. I have ran for a company that gave me 2 e-logs and 2 paper logs, and I get 3 hours of sleep, wake back up, driving. I did all that. So I think I have a place to say this. Stop buying these trucks for $75,000. A truck was for $75,000, 750,000 miles. It's already 7-8 years old. The average lifespan of a truck, guys, listen to me, please. This is the most important thing for anybody who said, I don't know what I'm talking about, from this point on back to the beginning of the video. Do not go and buy a truck with 700,000 miles that is already 6-7 years old and they want 70,000 for it. Do not do that unless you have 15,000 in the bank right now for repairs, because soon as you take that truck off the lot and you put it to the test, it will screw up. I've made this mistake, but the only thing about me is I know how to fix my own truck. I bought a pack car engine. I bought a Pete with a pack car in it, right? I take it to the dealership funny story, but a true story. I take it not to a dealership, to some guy who fixes trucks. Everybody said he was reputable. The first incident was my tires. My tires were shit. It's like all of a sudden my tires just went down to shit, right? This guy looked at my tires. He said, "You need a kingpin." Like, how do you know that? Do you know what it was? I took it to somebody else. My boy looked at it. My boy said, "What's your air pressure?" I'm like, "Oh shit, I ain't checked air pressure." 80 psi when it's supposed to be 110. So this guy wanted $4,000 from me to do the left side and the right side. He tells me, "Oh, it's about $1,500 to do it, but if we gotta beat the kingpin out, that's another $500. So your total will be $2,000 per side." You're gonna tell me you beat the kingpin out even if you didn't. I'm not stupid. I am a Master Tech ASE certified. I've been there. I've done that. I know what goes on behind closed doors. He tells me, he looks at my fuel rail. My fuel rail had a leak. It threw out a code for low fuel pressure at the common rail. He tells me, "Oh, you need a new fuel rail." Well, the fuel rail isn't leaking. It's just the line. So why shouldn't just change the lines and call it a day? I mean, if it leaks again, I'll change another line. And if the fuel rail itself starts to leak, I will change the leak. I don't care what you mechanics out there say. Trucking is expensive, and I'm not just giving away money for nothing. I don't care what you say. "Oh, you should change the common rail, and you should change the fuel lines, and you should change this, and you should." I'm not finna give y'all no $3,000 for that. I'm here to make money. And it's like being a trucker, everybody makes money off of you. You are at the bottom of the totem pole. Everybody makes money off of you. Who do you make money off? Damn sure not the broker. The broker makes money off of you. Only thing we have is the shipper. And we don't even get that money until the broker takes his cut, whoever you leased on takes his cut. If you're a quote unquote boss, you got to pay your goddamn driver. And that's another thing with that. Everybody comes in here. If you want to be a boss, you want to start your own trucking company, do not buy these raggedy ass trucks. Stop buying these Volvos with 800,000 miles on it. Stop buying these Cascadias with 800,000 miles on it. And as soon as the man get down the street, the check engine light comes on and the truck goes into derate. Stop doing that. That is why you cannot keep any drivers. That is why people come there and have the audacity. Oops. And please, before you give somebody a truck, make sure that truck is clean. Do you know how many people that I work for who tried to stick me in the truck and I'm like, this truck isn't clean? They don't even bother with all this COVID stuff going around. If it's true or not, whatever, but with all that stuff going around, at least give me a clean truck. It can't be dirty and raggedy. At least give me a clean truck. I don't know why do you guys do that stuff, and it's just like really aggravating me when I see somebody talking about, "Oh, I'm starting my new trucking company." I'm not working with you. I see a lot of freaking people say that they're not brokers, but dispatchers. I'm not working for you. For what? What is it for me to gain? Honestly, ask yourself. And what a lot of these brokers are not brokers, a lot of these dispatchers are trying to do is put you on a contract. And when they put you on a contract and you're 3 months in and you realize everything they promise you isn't what it seems, now you just can't leave, because if you leave, you got to pay this amount of money. They're going to keep this and blah, 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 blah. Man, listen here. The trucking company, trucking industry isn't what it used to be, and I'm sick of it. But until then, guys, peace.